Okay, we got the next part to my little base camp build. I got the Meus chassis kit. Okay, here's what comes in the kit. High clearance links, drive shafts. This is just like the skid and the magnets and stuff to mount up to here, and this is the rails and the hardware to mount up this. So that it comes with all the hardware you need, and then also comes with these cool stickers. These look very, very nice. Start by taking the body off of this truck. I'm gonna dump this little bag out. Let's work on the chassis. That's awesome. It comes with a battery strap. It comes with rock sliders, metal ones, which is pretty nice. It comes with all the magnets you need to mount your body up. It's got the little pieces here to put your magnets in, chassis rails, and I believe little stickers hold the magnets in place. I think the easiest way to put this together is going to be putting the skid in the middle first, and then adding, which is the little piece that goes here, and then adding some of the accessories and stuff on, like the battery tray and stuff. So this doesn't come with a skid, so I'm going to take it off of the stock truck right now. Okay, I would start by taking your motor out. So there's this little screw right here. That one is very important because if you take that one off last, it's brittle and the plastic around the piece can break. I've broken it multiple times. So I like to go ahead and take that one out first. Then flip it over and take these two out. Just like that. And then flip it back over and you can wiggle this out. Unplug your motor and set that aside. I'm going to take off these two screws right here, and then same on both sides. Because this upgrade, same thing on these. Once you get the screw out and it feels like it's not moving anymore, so basically once you can get the head, get your fingernail behind the head, it'll just pull out. It only threads into just a little bit right here, but once you're into this link right here, you can pull it out. Now your skid is free. Just set your truck aside. Now that I have the skid, I'm going to grab these two chassis rails. And it's got little holes for that, and you just push it in like that. And then grab a short screw and just put it in right there. Oh, next hole. So it's the one. Just nice and snug. And now let's install this one here. Once you get that, you grab these two magnet trays, and one goes in the back and one goes up right here. So these screw holes are just a tiny bit too small, so that way the screw bites in there. So I like to put my screw through a good ways and then take it out and then put it in again with the piece in place. Just that way so it gets the screw hole right. I just did it in a tiny bit, and now I'm going to put the screw on the other side in, the one across from it, so this one instead. I'm actually going to use these screws instead of the ones that came with it for up here, just because I think it'll look really good, but on some of the other stuff I'll do the other screws. I'm not going to install the back one because I'm going to mount the body on the frame just like it did on stock. Actually not going to be using this body for much longer. I'm going to make them interchangeable, but I have a better performing body coming. It's really not going to perform that much better because that body's already so light, but it's going to look a lot better, and I want it to look unique, and that body is on a lot of other trucks. So next I'm going to install this battery tray. Okay, if you are installing your back magnet tray, make sure you put this on first because it goes right here. and then it pinches it tight. So I'm actually going to have to loosen these screws to fit it in. This part's a little sketchy, but you got to put it in like that, and then grab right here and squeeze until it pops into place. Just be careful, because I don't really know how fragile carbon fiber is. So I know once it's all together, it'll be very strong, but just be careful not to break any of the pieces. Also, don't put your screws up too tight, because it'll like kind of chip it away. Also, if you want to install your rock sliders, you're going to have to take these screws out and then put them back in over top of this. And then to install these, you install them with the tapered end facing back. And then you just install it exactly as you did a second ago. Literally just put the screw in and just tighten it up just a little bit. And then you're good. You can do those two screws if you, like later when we're putting the links in, you'll do those. So just don't do those yet. Okay, next I'll be installing this in between here. And I'm just gonna, I want to put my shock on this top front one. So I'm gonna put this right here in the middle, and it won't affect anything. It'll just make it stronger, and it'll hold the back end together. And then I'm also going to add another across here. Now I think it's about ready to install. I'm going to get my links put together, and then we're going to put it on the truck. So I'm going to set that aside and pull out my links. And then just pushing it through. Okay, I'm still working on this kit. I'm going to go ahead and throw it on to my truck. I'm still working on getting all the links sorted out. It's just a lot of screwing and measuring, and I'm going to show you how to do it because it's the hardest part. So if you want to see how to do that, skip to this part in the video that's up on the screen. But first, I'm going to just go ahead and install this with the stock links. I just installed this whole chassis kit. I was excited to put the motor in and drive it. I realized I installed the skid backwards. So that screw is supposed to be right here. So my motor was backwards. And then the drive shafts didn't fit. So now I have to take everything back apart. Literally everything. All of the links and everything. Okay, I know the video cut to it installed and y'all are like, what? I had some issues with the links. I finally got them installed. So I'm going to catch y'all back up and tell y'all how I did it. So I was having trouble with getting the links right. They were super hard to screw these little black pieces on. And when I finally got them all right, some of the angles were off. So like, see how it's angled like that? They weren't all right. So I had to like keep adjusting them. And then also these ones weren't fully tightened. So the axle was twisted. So like when you had the body on, this wheel was like really close. And then over here, this one was like really far back. So I got all that fixed. And I'm going to show y'all how to do it, and hopefully not how to do it quicker. At this moment, I cannot show y'all my SCX-24 that I've been building, but I want to show y'all what I did and what number links are on each piece. So I'll explain what that means, but I'm going to show y'all on this truck. So on the links, they all have that little number, and those numbers mean different angles. So like this one's only 5, and it's just barely got an angle to it. And you have to put each one at a certain spot. So I'm going to show you all on this, and then y'all can translate to that truck. Okay, on the back right here, on the right upper link, it has a number 6 here, and then the bar, and then right here is one of the blank ones with no number. So it's just pretty straight. And then on this one is a blank just like that one. And then this one is a number 10. Let's move on to the back and then we'll do the uppers. Okay, both of these are one of the blank ones. And then I think there's no more of those. There might be some on the uppers, but I believe these are the last 2 blank ones. And by blank, I mean they don't have any number on them. Okay, this one right here is a number 2. This one right here is a 12. This upper link right here on the left top is a number 3 on the back. And then the one right across from it right there is a number 2. Okay, those uppers back here are both just blanks. And then these uppers up here, you can pretty much use whichever ones you want. Just try to pick the ones with minimum angle. Okay, I hope that helped, and sorry I couldn't show you on my regular truck.